The USB stick wasn't ordinary. It was broadcasting, not just a static dump of audio, but an active data beacon, silently pinging from a local server hidden behind layers of VPN obfuscation. FBI forensics worked through the night, decrypting the signal, while the Glenridge PD reviewed the grainy photo showing a cop digging a grave next to the missing man, Brian Halpin. Whoever sent the USB knew what they were doing, and more terrifyingly, they knew when the FBI would plug it in. By 4:07 a.m., the signal had cracked, triangulated to a cabin in Ouachita National Forest, Arkansas. Remote, isolated, no cell towers nearby. A tactical team was dispatched immediately. No waiting for warrants. This wasn't about jurisdiction anymore. This was a black ops sweep. When the agents arrived, they found what looked like an abandoned hunting cabin, coated in grime, windows sealed with insulation boards, and a rusted chain hanging loose from the front porch. No vehicle, no lights. But inside, a generator was humming, a laptop was still warm, and across the wall, multiple mounted screens, all black, except one, a live feed, a grainy, green-tinged night vision camera, showing a man tied to a chair in what looked like a basement, his face bloody, shirt ripped open, still breathing. Pinned to his chest was a sticky note that read, Glenridge PD, Internal Affairs. The man was later identified as Detective Ellis Grant, a 19-year veteran of Glenridge Police and one of the original officers assigned to the Carla Monroe case. He had gone on vacation 2 weeks prior, according to department records, but no one knew where, until now. In the basement of the cabin, agents found chains, restraints, syringes, and, more disturbingly, a small recording studio, padded with egg carton foam. Multiple audio files were stored on the laptop. All of them were rehearsals, different voices, all artificial, all mimicking the original 911 caller. Whoever orchestrated this wasn't just a killer or a whistleblower. They were producing a performance, a show, and the rest of the country was starting to watch. The FBI held off making a public statement for 72 hours. They needed time. Detective Grant was alive, but barely coherent. He'd been injected with ketamine, starved, and left for days. One of the few things he said during his medical debrief, he made me watch them dig her up. He knew everything, not just Carla, others, even the concrete mixes. The FBI pressed harder, and that's when the confession came. Grant admitted he'd helped cover up Carla's murder, but didn't kill her. He said in 2013 he was in debt, $48,000 in gambling losses. When he was approached by a contractor, someone connected who had access to a concrete disposal route via Redgate Industrial. The job? Make sure the Carla Monroe file disappeared. Look the other way. Help place the slab. He was paid in cash, told to keep quiet. They buried her like trash. And I buried the evidence. That's all I did. But the man who forced him into silence, according to Grant, his name was never given. Just a code name, Coyote. With that new intel, the FBI ran a cross-reference across Redgate's old employee list and subcontractors. One name pinged, Russell Dean Calhoun, a former demolition specialist. No criminal record, but a dishonorable discharge from the Marines after a classified court-martial in 2004. Known aliases, Dean Rusk, Coy L. His nickname on multiple job sites, Coyote. Calhoun had last been seen in Kansas City, working under a fake name as a metal recycler. But when agents arrived at his last known address, a trailer behind a scrapyard, they found something chilling inside. A map, marked in red pins across 4 states, each pin tagged with a name, a date, and a number. Carla Monroe was number 14. There were 19 pins total. Hidden beneath the mattress was a journal, handwritten in small, cramped print. It wasn't a diary. It was more like a manifesto. Pages of unhinged thoughts, interspersed with drawings of concrete slabs, notes on airtight soundproofing, burial positions, even chemical breakdowns of slow-curing cement mixes designed to mask decomposition. But one sentence, repeated over and over across the final pages, stood out. Truth buried lives forever, unless you teach it to scream. Now the FBI understood. These weren't just murders. This was a lesson, twisted, calculated, obsessive. Calhoun, aka the Watcher in the concrete, saw himself as a messenger, not for justice, but for revealed secrets. He wasn't just killing, he was punishing silence. And the envelopes, the Polaroids, the USBs, they weren't cries for help. They were bait, and it worked. The FBI's press conference announcing the discovery of Calhoun's cabin made national headlines. True crime podcasts devoured it. TikToks hit millions of views. The number Concrete Watcher trended for 48 hours straight. But 2 days later, the story got darker. The FBI's lead tech analyst, Stephanie Varela, 38, based in Chicago, vanished. She had been working on decoding the final files from Calhoun's laptop. That morning, her fiancé told police. She said she was close to cracking something he left behind. But then she just disappeared. No note, no call. Her laptop was still open, mid-keystroke. CCTV footage showed her leaving their apartment in a hoodie, no bags, no car keys. Just gone. An email arrived at the FBI 24 hours later. No subject line. Inside, a single image attachment. Stephanie, unconscious, tied to a chair, a note taped to her chest. She's trying to silence the scream. The media went wild. Public pressure reached boiling point. Was Calhoun working alone? Had he groomed disciples? The FBI reopened all 19 cases linked to the map, cross-referencing with Redgate's demolition and poor logs. One fact became clear. Each murder involved someone trying to bury a truth. A journalist investigating illegal waste dumping, number 7. A whistleblower accountant from a corrupt bank, number 9. Carla Monroe, who had filed a harassment complaint against a Glenridge City official 1 week before her death, number 14. These weren't random victims. They were symbols. But something was still missing. How was Calhoun surveilling the FBI? Where were the live feeds coming from? And how had he captured Stephanie without being caught on a single camera in the heart of Chicago? Then came the final break. One of the digital forensics interns noticed a strange background noise in the original USB audio files. A low hum, patterned, repetitive. He ran it through an audio spectrogram and compared it to ambient sounds in different locations. Match found power turbines at the Glendale Hydro Substation, a remote power plant near the Missouri-Arkansas border. Hidden in the back was a decommissioned control building, no longer used for operations, but still wired with legacy power and underground access. Inside, the FBI found what can only be described as a ritual tomb of surveillance. Walls of monitors, all 19 victims' photos, each connected to videos, interviews, home footage, medical files. One live feed in the center, Stephanie, breathing, eyes fluttering, still alive, pinned above her head on the wall. A page from Calhoun's journal, burned at the edges. In red marker, it read, "You didn't kill the story, you just buried it." As agents moved in to extract her, the room locked down. Steel doors slammed shut. A countdown began on the monitors. 5 மணி நேரம் 4:69 நிமிடம் 4:68 நிமிடம். The floor beneath Stephanie began to fill with cement. Slow pour, foamed with industrial expander. She was about to be entombed. Live. On camera. That's when another screen flickered on. Calhoun's face, or someone wearing a perfect prosthetic mask of it. Hard to tell. The voice was scrambled, synthetic, but calm. I was never the only one. There are more concrete voices now, more truths screaming. You didn't stop me. You amplified me. Then the screen cut to black. All monitors shut down. The cement pump froze, but the question lingered in that cold, buzzing silence. If Calhoun is dead, who's keeping the Watcher's mission alive?